It's day 249.
of the 29th year and beyond. Well, today I was having a conversation with a new friend. He's a patient and dealing with some current health challenges. And he was telling me about his journey. He'll be married 2 years this July. And he was saying that they were supposed to get married several years ago, but his dad got ill. And I remember we talked about fiance versus family. And then we also talked about John and Gabby told us some different things that they got from our blogs. And then yesterday, our conversation. All sort of tied in together for me into what happens when you're in a relationship with somebody or getting ready to get married or make that commitment to someone and something catastrophic happens and the person that you're with can't deal with what you're going through, or they're on board and they're like, whatever you need me to do, I'm there. I mean, it does happen.
Yeah, and I just would say be mindful that everyone doesn't have the capacity to deal with everything. You know, there's seven of us, and growing up, we were always breaking something, meaning an arm, a leg, cutting. Uh, there were more than a fair share of opportunities where we kept my mom running to the hospital. I mean, at one point, I thought it would have been beneficial for them to just give her like a commission, because she was bringing so much business.
It's the downing wing of the hospital.
Right. But one of the things that even as a child, young child, before I even hit my teenage years, that was really interesting and quite amusing to me was how squeamish my mother was when it came to blood. I mean, so bad that she would have to, if we got cut, she would have to ask one of the other children to look. Is it bad? I mean, she would literally like turn her head. Is it bad? Is it bad? Is it deep? Is it need stitches? And, but that was her thing. I mean, she was so squeamish that she couldn't look upon blood. I know that I have a challenging time when children are really, really ill. Yeah. And when I say really, really ill, dealing with like major medical pieces where they're, it's just very challenging for me. Yeah, it's very challenging for me. I press through, but it is very challenging. My point is simply this. Everyone doesn't have. I mean, then there are some people that your head can literally be almost severed off your shoulders, and they can be fine with that. They're going to be there, and they're going to. But everyone doesn't have the capacity, and so what I'm simply saying is be mindful of that, and don't stand in judgment of them because of that. That just simply means if you're in love with someone who loves you but doesn't have the capacity to be able to maybe be present at some of those challenging times, that you have to be willing to be the one to rise above. And normally in a situation, one of the two of you have the wherewithal to press through and be there.
Is there ever a situation where that would be a deal breaker? Because for me, if I'm with someone and say, for instance, I'm sick, and I need them to be there for me, different from someone not being able to look at blood, but I mean, if you can't support me during a time when someone's in my family or even someone in your family is ill, should that be a deal breaker?
Well, it depends on you as an individual, because this is the thing. Now, if I can't be around you while you're puking, but I can get you the best nurse that money can buy.
You?
Look.
Because I can't do the puke.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing. And I use that, but Gail definitely, okay, once the vomit starts, she's out.
Yeah, my mom.
I have to be the one holding heads and cleaning up mess and all. And, my point is simply this. If you're not able to be there, physically be there, but you can provide what is needed. I mean, because in some situations, there's certain people that I don't want around me when I'm ill.
Right.
It's just like, no, the best thing you can do for me is stay away. So, I mean, it depends on what it is and what's important to you. But you have to determine that. My thing is, don't judge people because you can do something that they're not capable of doing.
Right. But also be honest with yourself. If this is something that you need them to be supportive in and be there for you, then you need to not walk into that. Because I knew someone who was going through cancer treatment and their current fiance, boyfriend person just sort of like, okay, and just like this. And she was like, okay, well, that was a deal breaker for her.
And again, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But be mindful. everyone doesn't have the same capacity to deal with the challenging things of life. Mm-hmm. And so you have to determine if the person authentically loves you or not, mm-hmm. what you're willing to accept and not accept until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same. Is it bad? Does it need stitches?
No, Mommy, it's okay.